So, we're here again. Hello, welcome back my legion of seals. If you don't know me, that's fine because I don't know you. My name is Daniela Seeley. I am new on this platform. Yes, I am new. Even though I've lurked in the comments of other people's videos for years. Anywho, this is my first video ever. It's for a school project, which, based on the title, you are interested. I'm going to be talking about 8 things. One of those 8 things was my introduction, apparently. Great. I am an American student, BT dubs, if you couldn't tell. I'm a 16-year-old American student currently enrolled in my junior year of high school. Being an American student, I have some first-hand experience on the subject of the American school, and let's just say it's could use a little help. Okay. It's constantly struggling to actually educate. It's moving on. Many of you don't know what this is, even though you probably do if you're an American student. So, gatekeeping is defined as the rationing of the best classes for the best students. What this means is basically, you know, that dual credit class that you wanted to get into, but you know, you had to take the TSI? Yeah, the TSI, for those of you who don't know, is basically a test that you have to take before the administrators at your high school that is offering the dual credit class, which dual credit is, by the way, both credit for college and credit for high school. That's all you need to know about it. The rationing of the best classes for the best students. Point number 3. Standardized testing. Even if you're not an American student, you've heard of this. Especially if you have American student friends, or American student parents, or American student siblings. Or if you have the internet. Great. Okay. Standardized testing is basically a test, multiple choice, given out. You just give it all out. It's all the same. It's all just all out there, okay? The practice of standardized testing was actually created by Frederick J. Kelly. The man who invented standardized testing said, "These tests are too crude to be used." So, if you really want to blame someone, blame the government that decided to keep putting them out there because it was low cost. And blame the school systems for doing this because it created teaching to the test. Teaching to the test is a very controversial thing in the educational world, and you do not get to learn, because if you are just teaching to pass the test or pass even the term or make the grade A, you can't actually learn the subject that is being taught. This affects students and this affects teachers. Teachers will actually start teaching to the test because their reviews are based off of how many students passed those tests. So their jobs are based off of scores of students for this one test. Or multiple tests. There's many ways it affects American schools and how they do their systems. One school system in New York will actually spend 12 weeks total of the year and that just 12, for the actual process of testing and practicing testing. So that's not even including the time spent learning for the test. So whenever you calculate the amount of weeks in a year, which is 52, and then of those 52, 3 months off for summer. Okay, what's 15 minus 52? Hold up. Alexa, what's 15 minus 52?
I'm not sure.
See, even Alexa doesn't get it. What the heck? So what's 15 minus 52?
15 minus 52 is minus 37.
Okay, so after you subtract 15 weeks from the 52 weeks in a year, you actually get 37 weeks left. Oh my gosh. Wow, look at us. We can do math. I'm just gonna edit that out with the magic of editing. Great. Okay. 25 weeks left of the school year. Now if we included teaching to the test, which is not measurable because many schools, they deny that they do this. However, there's a book called The Test by Amy Kamenetz. It's really glorious. I recommend you read it. Personally, I found it to be very enlightening about the school system, and that's coming from an American school student. Oh my gosh! Number 4. Factory style schooling hasn't changed or been updated in the last century or so. So basically that means that a century ago, our society was in the mindset that we wanted everyone to be inside the box thinker. Our society wasn't very tolerant surrounding many things, which kind of explains standardized testing, if you think about it, because there were civil rights actions. For instance, the Jim Crow laws, right? They were made to prevent the black population from being able to execute their right. And as we move further into the issue of civil rights, we can actually see that later on there was literacy tests to prevent voting in the election. Oh, this ties into gatekeeping. Yes. Ha, you see that? Another thing for number 4 is that, you know how I mentioned earlier on grade A? Does that sound familiar to grade A meat? Students and humans are a little bit more complex than meats and buildings, even though, you know, nothing against those things. It's just maybe the students need a little bit of a better system for judging more complex things. Number 5. This one's a doozy. The effects poor educational practices has on students' mental health and future prospects. For one, the effects the schooling practices has on mental health, including standardized testing and gatekeeping, and even the factory style of teaching. Very simple. Those 3 things contribute to a majority of teen depression, mental health disorders, low self-esteem, right? All those effects contribute to rising teen suicides, because right now in our modern society, teens are likely to die from teen suicide. I feel that we should implement better reform for those things, and that's just for the mental health issue. The actual future prospects issue is a whole other shebang. The future prospects of our students in the school system of America right now are very low, because the school system is still based off of a society that more than a century ago was very inside the box and was not very tolerant. However, modern society is very outside the box. It's very creative, innovative, and it values people who are being executive in their decisions and not waiting on approval to go and get what they want. The school system of America is training and educating students for the past by creating students and molding them into little boxes. However, the working industry of modern society and social industry of modern society really values those who are outside the box. This leads me into my 6th point. The lack of comprehensive, up-to-date education hinders the future of students, which is why it's important to introduce reform in the American school system as soon as possible. We need better education, yes. Number 7, the solution. What are we gonna do and how are we going to do it? So, I propose that we reform the schools as soon as possible. 1, we need to reform them better fit modern society. 2, I propose that we look at other countries around us for things that we could take and adapt into our own policies to better improve our national ranking of education before we get any worse off. And some evidence for those solutions. Finland is very with modern. It's also ranked very high nationally. The school system in Finland does not have any homework. The hours the students actually do schoolwork and are in class is actually very little compared to the American system. The American school system is very abrasive. I guess that's it. Wow, I'm done. Bye, my legion of seals. I'll see y'all never. Like and subscribe. Haha, cool.